fans, Board now back with you on this video. I'm going to be talking about, yes, you guessed it by the music, Succession Season 4, Episode 1. The episode is called The Munsters, so the comeback episode for the final season of the HBO Satire. Really been looking forward to this one for quite a while now, as I guess we'll finally find out who gets to succeed Logan Roy and who survives the whole drama of it. So, solid comeback episode. We return to the Pierce family, who were a big storyline back in, I think it was season 2. It was the major storyline when Logan was trying to buy out them or buy a share, and there was a whole back and forth for most of the season. I remember Holly Hunter appeared as the daughter of the main owner of the company, and it was really great drama back and forth that season. So we returned to that, and it's noted that Logan at this point has been trying to buy this company for like the best part of 10 years, which is a good insight into just how stubborn this character is and how he never takes no for an answer. It's almost like an ego thing at this point. It's in many ways it's not even about the money. But what happens is you've got the 3 kids, you've got Roman, Shiv and Kendall, and they're about to set out on a new adventure. They're about to start this company called The 100, a new tech company, or they appeared to be about to buy it anyway, and we get an amusing scene where they're going through all these different branding names at the start of the episode, but then they get wind of Tom having a meeting with Naomi Pierce, and that gives them the lowdown on Logan wants to buy the company again. And Roman is very much against this idea of going into combat with the father again. He's actually the most level-headed one in the scene in many ways. He's kind of saying, you both want to fuck someone over. Yeah. Whereas I just don't. I'm just happy the way I am. But they talk him into it, so this becomes the big plot of the episode, where they're both trying to outbid each other. The 3 of them, Roman, Shiv and Kendall, go for a meeting with Naomi, and they start talking and they go back and forth, because at first it appears as though she's just going to take Logan's offer, saying that then there's an offer and it's too good to refuse. So you get all the back and forth. At the same time, there's a very personal storyline as Tom and Shiv are still going through their, what they call in the trial, separation. They're in the process of getting a divorce. And this whole thing, when Shiv finds out he's out to lunch with Naomi, that gets her sort of all ruffled. And it's unclear whether it's because of the competition, like the business side, or if it's more she's hurt than he's having dinner with another woman and maybe like sleeping around or whatever. Like, to me it's the latter because of the way she responds, but you could definitely read it as both ways. And all this is going on in the backdrop to Logan's birthday, where he's being a classic Grinch as always, and you've got all the usual characters like milling around him, trying to please him. We get more Tom and Greg antics. Greg has a new girlfriend, who it seems as though is no longer a girlfriend by the end. And we drop in on Connor, who is polling at 1%. And to try and boost his polling figures, he tries to get Willow to agree to a very outlandish wedding ceremony to try and create a buzz. Poor Willow, always suffering. Logan also has a new assistant, Carrie, who's very sort of sharp and aggressive. Seems a good fit for him. It's implied they might be having a relationship, but it's also possible that Logan could be just being very creepy, and he's coming on to her, but it's not in return. But Kerry was a good debut this episode, I thought. So, as I said, solid episode. Really, all the characters on point. Some intriguing things set up for the season. Once again, Roman has some cracking lines in the episode. I love his line about, we were going for iconic and you gave us ironic, when talking about like one of the logo suggestions for the 100. I also really love when they're in negotiations with Naomi and she's like getting all like annoyed at them and their father just keep throwing different figures at them, and it's like, well, yeah, what comes next? It's 9 billion now. What comes after that? And Roman's like, oh, I don't know. It's such a teaser. That what comes after 9? Could it be like 9A, 9B? That's cracking stuff. Roman is on great form. Kendall, as always, is trying to be down with the kids, fist bumping a lot of people. I'll get to Shiv in a minute because like Sarah Snook in this episode is absolutely fantastic. I think she might be the MVP of the episode. The way she's trying to keep her emotions in check, how she is flustered by what's happening with Tom on the other end of things, and just the very end of the episode, or pretty much the end, her and Tom's scene back at their place is so sad and intimate. It's a very different feel to the rest of the episode. And at one point it seems like Logan has won the bid. And there's different things going on, because another theme in the episode, as I said, is then we're coming up to the election. At the moment, Connor's running, but it doesn't look like he'll get in. But Shiv has again been using political influence, and she uses that to try and persuade the Pierce family to like sell up to them, because she says we're in a very good position once the election is over to like appease your sort of values, because Shiv has always sort of played both sides, but she's the one who has been a bit more leaning to the left of the family, and that does appear to be like the Pierce family's preferred like side of the political spectrum. So Shiv is using that as a bit of an attraction. Then she's very much on that side of things, political. But it's really exciting to see this all play out, and just the mind games, because at one point Shiv is talking to Tom on the speaker, and they're just playing. They're trying to give each other's like what their ceiling would be, and they seem to both say 12, but that's just like mind games. And then the kids start to speculate. Then hey, he's probably going to start off at like 8.5 or something, around 9. So they're debating whether they just go in with 10 and make a statement, or if they're a bit more cautious. In the end, they go in with 10, and that seems to win the bid. Although it's not 100% sure, but like Catherine says, well, that certainly gives us something to consider. And Logan just seems to lose it. Once again, Logan is so unpredictable in this episode. At times he seems like kind of away with the fairies, because I think another thing we're going to see more of this season is his health deteriorating, and that maybe this is the start of the end for him, at least in his career. But then also he's still got that fire in him, and he's still got that unpredictability. You're never quite sure what he's going to do, but once again, he's on vintage form at this party. There's that really cringe-worthy scene where, to try and lighten up the mood, he wants like people like Jerry and Greg to like tell him jokes and just to like come up with stuff. And at one point he suggests like a roast of himself. But then when Greg turns it too personal, he then starts to bully Greg, basically. So that's vintage Logan. once again, you have those scenes that are so like edge of your seat, borderline of being funny, but that they do tip over into something a lot more nasty, and that's something Brian Cox does so well in the role, and the way it just comes out of nowhere. The meaning of life at one point over lunch, like Greg and Tom is once again like pulling Greg's strings, because he has this girlfriend called Bridget who he brings to the party, and once again we see like Carrie, the assistant, grilling him about her, saying we need to know everything about her, once again just showing this sort of like culture and the mentality of taking no chance. Tom's winding Greg up about a handbag, and it like trading on Twitter, it's sending like a bad message. They have sex, and he starts like bragging about it. They've got this disgusting sort of turn, the disgusting brothers. Tom starts claiming that there's cameras in every room of the house, so they were basically caught on film. And it might be the funniest scene of the episode, where he starts talking about how Logan watches the footage, like when he's buttering himself a sandwich at night. Yeah, you just made him a sex tape. Conversation with Logan, but he apparently he goes away and tells him what happened, and blamed it on Bridget. The episode with the bids back and forth is very good. As I said, we get a little bit more of Connor and his political path. Connor and Greg mostly, like they're trying to explain politics to Greg's girlfriend Bridget, and trying to explain how he's polling at 1% and how you need to keep the 1%, but you don't want it to move, you don't want to lose it. And that's why he comes up with the idea for the extravagant wedding. This stuff is some good stuff to watch this season, I think. But yeah, at the end of the episode, where Logan seems to be beat, he rings them out of the blue and says, you know, good one, giving your biggest number. And they kind of celebrate like they've won, but with Logan, it's hard to know. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve. Maybe they've played their hand too early. But the episode ends with him, and he's back home, and he's just watching the news at night. He never switches off. It's showing you that. And he calls one of his assistants and just says, like, fix it, basically. So clearly he's not gonna give this one up with Shiv and Tom when Shiv comes home at night. And that's what I like about it, the structure of the episode, where they've been competing with each other all day. They've been at each other's throat, and then you get this more calmer, more intimate scene. Like Shiv, who's like the much more toxic in the scene, a lot more damage, and is just completely running him down, saying about how he's been seen with models, or just really making it nasty. He doesn't. He kind of says, yeah, I thought we were going to talk about things, and Preston, then he still loves her, and it's definitely a more human scene for Tom. Like they're going to give it another go, which, I mean, could damage the deal actually, because there's a scene earlier when they're talking to the head of the Pierce family where she's saying that she's concerned about the rivalry between her and Tom because of Tom being on Logan's team, and she says, no, don't worry, we're about to get a divorce. And now, but at the end of the episode, they seem to be giving it another go, so that could be something that actually damages the deal going through for their side. Partly a comment on patriarchy and like the role of women in business and the high-flying world, where in some ways she's sort of consigned to marriage a second go, even if she doesn't want to. Even though she's been pretty malicious and unfair to Tom, it doesn't change the fact then if she wants a divorce and wants to go independent, she should. So it might be a comment on that. It could also just be a thing of, for better or for worse, they just fit together, like they'll always be together, and no matter how up and down their relationship is, like in a funny sort of way, they are meant for each other. Strong start to the season, and I'm really looking forward to this final season, looking to see where it takes us, where the chips fall by the end, what exactly is going to happen with the big players. And I'm going to be here every week talking Succession, 1 episode a week for the final season. So that's my review of the opening episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe as always. Share me out on social media. And also look out for my reviews of Yellow Jackets, another big show which returned this past week. So I've been covering that on the channel as well. If you're interested in Yellow Jackets, check out those reviews. But thanks for listening. See you guys soon.